Hey everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Co-Creating with AI. Today we're going to talk about the new Omni models from OpenAI, and I'm Martin Källström, and with me as always is Rasmus. How are you today, Rasmus?
Good, thanks. Sun is shining, and
Yeah.
this is the time where I'm really enjoying now having moved to the countryside. Because
Mhm.
like last night after work was like going down to the beach, swimming with my daughter, and then taking like a rowing across the lake. So it was like
Mhm.
really like idyllic for a what was it, Monday?
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, it's not good. It's a good Monday. How are you?
that's good. I'm really good too. I'm also enjoying the weather. I have a new morning routine where I take the car. It feels wrong, but I take the car to the forest and run 5 kilometers. And then I it's much easier to actually make it happen because otherwise I have to run through the city before I get to the forest, and that's just a hurdle that pushes away the habit. But
I mean, it's no worse than going like taking the car to the gym and running on a treadmill, right? So, you might as well.
yeah, yes, no, so it's that's a really good morning routine to get into that gives energy. So
Nice.
last night was there was an exciting but sort of low key, underwhelming event with from OpenAI, their spring update, and but there was that was like their laid back way of announcing things that are fairly amazing. I think from my perspective, at least. What's your take?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they basically launched her. I mean, not
Yeah,
really, but
yeah,
like in a little bit, like sneaking in memory, and now
yeah.
with the completely seamless. I mean, for those who haven't seen like the movie Her, it's like
Mm,
when you know, it comes out new software, which is this AI that is personal to you, and then becomes everyone's friend, and they talk and interact with it. And I haven't tried it myself yet, so I can't say how much is demo hype, etc. But it looked real, and
mm,
so many different examples they tried, and they did stuff live on stage, etc. And it seems like really natural, quick, low latency interaction by voice
mm.
with and by like video, like visual input. Like you show the AI what you're doing on your phone, like you should, and it gets what you're doing. Um, that kind of thing seems like it's really next level potentially.
Yeah.
What's your sense? Like, what were the most like impressive things you saw?
I think the most impressive thing is that it's actually a new foundation model where it's not just a fine tune of GPT-4, but it's actually a new model where they have audio tokens coming in the same way as text tokens and image tokens, which means that they that it means that they can input and output audio the same way as with text. So you can prompt it, and that's the most amazing thing for me. You can actually prompt it uh, in audio on how to output audio. So, for example, if you show it how to make whale sounds, it will be able to make whale sounds with just a few shots in the prompt.
Wow. Okay.
And
Wow. I haven't thought about that.
so it's a completely new latent space that opens up with that new modality.
Well, and is it true, like, so my, like, maybe you've had time to look into this, but I just saw some, like, brief texts around it. Should probably read up more
Yeah,
before
yeah.
recording this. But anyhow, like, before ChatGPT, they included Vision, they
Mm,
included Dolly. But what basically happened is it's your normal GPT-4, you talk with it, and then it sends prompts. If you put in an image, Vision decodes it to text, GPT-4 gets that text. If you ask it to generate an image, it takes that prompt, gives it to Dolly, which is like an image model,
mm,
right?
yeah,
If you talked to it or asked it to say things, I'm not sure if you could, but if you talked
yeah,
to it, it basically transcribed it using Whisper or something to
yes,
GPT-4, who got the text and then ran the normal, like,
yeah.
large language model. Is this the same with like an audio model, or is this a multimodal model? Because I read a bunch of stuff that seemed like this might be something new.
Yeah, so
Did you
this
get?
is actually it is a fully multimodal model. Everything you said was correct, except for that images could be input in a multimodal way in GPT-4 Vision. So
Okay.
but everything else, like output was always text, and audio was in like first translated or transcribed to text and then input, and output, when it outputted audio, it was first output as text and then converted, synthesized to audio. Now it's like it can do straight audio to audio with 300 milliseconds latency, which is just like world class. It has never existed before, and that kind of low latency.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like that multimodal model is kind of like as big a break. I don't know. It seems like a really big breakthrough. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, and I don't know like what the architecture is, and I'm not sure if they've been transparent. But I've listened to a bunch of the Jan LeCun talks, the
Mm.
Meta chief scientist, when he talks about JEPA, like where you basically have like or I'm not sure I got this right, but like you basically have these different vector spaces of like different
Mm-hmm.
modalities, and you can
Yeah.
actually fit them together and translate them directly. And I'm not sure if you ever spoke about having more than two of those, but if this is like audio, image, text, all in like one,
Mm.
like where there's direct translation between those like those spaces, is that like how you perceive it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
have you read it? Yeah,
Definitely.
that's
And
that's really new. It's really
it
really
is
new.
really new, and the best take I have read on what GPT-4o is that because it's a smaller model than GPT-4. It's cheaper for them to serve. They can give it away for free, and so it's probably a smaller model than GPT-4. Like
Mm,
it's not as many parameters, but it's just been trained on higher quality data, maybe for more with more compute. And like Llama 3
yeah.
breakthrough was so good because not because more data, but because just like I don't know, like 10 or 100 times more compute on the same data, training it. And so the best take I heard about GPT-4o was that it might be like an early checkpoint of an upcoming 4.5 or even GPT-5,
Mm,
where they've made a smaller model. They did these funny tests on uh, on the eval site. What's it called? LMSys,
yeah.
where they named it as I'm I'm a little GPT-2 bot or something,
Chatbot, yeah. That's been
and
out for a few weeks and
yes,
it crushes all the other models,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
And
yeah,
everyone's been like, this must be GPT-5 in like
yeah,
preview, and they were all right, or
yeah,
sort of right.
yes, and so it's an early checkpoint of something that is a more much more of a frontier model coming out, and so all all that also spells really amazing things for the future, where GPT-5 is going to have probably be based on this architecture with this Omni modality.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just looking at, so first of all, like the coolest thing was things for like things that were shown off yesterday, I think. But if you look at just what people have done with this little GPT-2 chatbot that was sneakily released in the wild,
Mm,
they've like asked it to code video games, and it did it and rendered them like there's a bunch
mm,
of things that it's been able to do that are like really impressive. But like the coolest thing was really the low latency audio and like being able to interpret vision. It's like you show it
yeah.
something, talk to it, it can respond to you. I saw someone had two of them
Mm,
singing to each other, and you just ask them, hey, sing to the other one, like, and they kept
yeah.
singing, in different voices. And like live translation, now the whole
Yeah.
bobblefish kind of thing in your ear is completely reasonable. It's going to be
Yeah.
there anytime. It's probably going to be in your phone, you know, in your AirPods. And
Mm.
same time, did you see the Apple licensed like made a deal with OpenAI? So
No.
most likely
I,
Siri, this Omni is going to be
was that
Siri. Yeah,
announced or leaked or like?
I'm. I didn't see the official announcement,
No.
but so this is like Twitter facts, but I
Hmm.
it looked like a real announcement, and
Yeah.
so hopefully it was. I should
Yeah.
probably double check that, but yeah, I think so. Makes sense though, like with this
Yeah.
capability, like that they feel like they're not going to catch up.
Mm. For me, since I've been solo deving on voice for the past few months, it's such a huge relief for me to get this, because I'm not doing I haven't been doing that because I love voice and I want to spend my like rest of my life on that. What I want to achieve is to have that voice capacity for AI agents. And now, and it's been so many tiny little challenges to overcome, like a myriad of tiny challenges to overcome. And uh, and for me it's just a big ocean of possibilities that opens up now when OpenAI like provides that, instead of me having to build it from scratch, from open source components. Because um, and I saw their contributors. I found like deep down in OpenAI's website, I found like the list of contributors to GPT-4o. It's like 200 people, that in different roles and capacities that have like been spending time on those voice capacities and so on. And so it's like it they've built sort of system one of of AI, where the think fast circuit, and then the rest of the world. This is, I think Sam Altman basically tweeted something along these lines, that they, like OpenAI, they see themselves as building some of the tools, and then the rest of the world can take care of actually changing the world using those tools. But so what I can move forward to now, like with artificial or autonomous agents and so on, is to more think about system two, where like how should they think and act autonomously in the world and so on, and worry less about the mechanics of just having a UI to the user.
Yeah, it's interesting there with I mean, I'm not sure if since this is so new, if you processed it fully with like what it means for kindship, etc.
Hmm.
But I can, I mean, I can of course see that even with the cool demos, you are gonna want more personalized like
Yeah.
AI, right? And you are gonna want and now you're gonna be able to put it in contexts much more easily. I mean, I'd
Mm.
be surprised if there aren't 100, ChatGPT meeting bots now that are gonna show up,
Hmm.
for Zoom meetings,
Yeah.
like very very quickly, if there aren't already. Because now, like, you can just have it in the meeting and you can chat it and ask it things and have it completely naturally, like in the room with you, or like
Mm.
having the phone on and like just asking it naturally. So it seems like a bunch of those, like, and I haven't tested it yet, right? But it seems like
Mm.
if they're not solved now, they will be soon. So then the interesting thing is, of course, like, okay, what do you build on top of that?
Mm. It was really apparent in how many times they had to go through like super quick protocol of, uh, hey GPT, how are you today? I'm good, how are you? Like they even
Mm,
during the first, like that initial demo, they said that maybe 7 or 10 times, like to like had that small chat.
yeah,
And that just shows the need to have an internal state where the AI actually is aware of recent, like what is the current state of the interaction with people. When you turn it off, on and off, it can't be blank like a minute later, because that's just going to be extremely, that like ruin the experience. So you really need to, like, there's a lot of innovation that is still necessary on what to actually use that technology for, and
yeah,
how to put it in the hands of people. But what is kind of amazing is that it means if their GPTs are now free and they have this voice capability, and the GPTs can call into any API, if you because you can give tools to GPTs. It means that you basically, what they're launching is a platform with a voice interface to any API in the world, and so any company
yeah,
can use OpenAI's GPTs as their voice interface to whatever they're building. And so that really opens up, like that combination of the best voice interface in the world, like unmatched to by all other available voice technology, and that it's free for everyone. Everybody is going to have that voice tech in their phone. So why not, now it's a no-brainer. Why not use OpenAI or make a GPT as front end to your app?
Yeah, or at least include it as, the voice button opens
Yeah,
up the GPT with only access to your API or whatever,
yeah,
or only,
exactly.
and ask it naturally to do things. And
Mm.
then the question is what, like, how that will, like, will that be a reasonable interface for most companies to have,
Hmm.
maybe, or will that be like quickly go to that you talk with Siri,
Yeah.
like, and Siri does stuff for you on your
Mm.
phone.
Mm.
When if you want to use voice or on Google. I mean, I'm sure Google is going to be able to catch up to this. I mean,
Mm.
if not, or catch up, or stay, at least
Yeah,
enough
that
in the
they
game.
Google I/O is tonight, Swedish
Oh,
time, or
really?
today US time. So this spring update was really like strategically placed the day before, and the rumor is that Google is going to announce as like something along those lines, like similarly today, and
All right.
yes,
I mean,
and
even worse if they don't, because whatever they're going to release is going to feel like,
yeah,
like the old company,
exactly,
grandma,
yeah,
releasing her new product.
yeah,
They're
and
so smart. Like Sam Altman is such a strategic mastermind.
yeah.
Like the way he plays things, it's like
Mm.
it's a really business school one. Like I don't even know what to call it,
Yeah,
business masterclass.
and basically they built and even demoed it slightly just like Google's failed demo video when they launched Gemini in the fall last
Hmm.
year, where everybody was disappointed and that they overhyped it, and now Sam Altman built or OpenAI built what was in the Gemini demo just in time for for Google to launch their AI assistant.
Right. And also he did it like an underwhelming. He really took, like,
Yeah,
if you take market position,
yeah,
it's like they take overhyping, and he's been doing that a bit as well. But now they're taking like really the position where the AI company that over delivers and underhypes.
yes,
Kind of, it's
yeah.
a really good position, I think, for
I mean,
like just
he
like the
spent
sense that you
so
want
yeah,
to use it now. Like you feel more and more like I feel that I want to use OpenAI as a brand rather than
mm,
Gemini.
mm,
Like as a it's not, of course, not going to affect hopefully my business decision, but I
yeah,
feel that like
mm,
that I like them better as an API provider, like an
yeah.
AI API provider.
Sam Altman has invested so much bandwidth in media the past month talking about how bad GPT-4 is. Like
Yeah,
that quote is
yeah,
everywhere now.
yeah, exactly. It's the stupidest model you'll ever
Yeah,
use.
yeah,
It's so funny how he does that.
yeah,
He's really good at that stuff. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
It's funny.
Very
But so
cool.
what? Let's give, like, we're gonna run a short one today, but we have a few more minutes left. Like what can we should we talk about some of the cool stuff we saw? Like what else did you see?
So we had the translation demo, and then also the voice prompting, where like, oh, can you make it more dramatic? Can you make it like a dramatic robot, and so on.
What do you mean, like voice prompting, that the voice changes?
Yeah, exactly. They
Oh,
asked GPT-4 to, like, when they were reading a bedtime story, they asked her, can you be more dramatic?
oh,
And
I
she was,
haven't
oh,
seen that.
you haven't? No,
No, I didn't
and
see
she
that.
was immediately like, in a world, it's like she was super dramatic then, and they asked her like two times to, like, can you even make it even more dramatic, and she delivered, like the AI voice delivered every time on making it even more dramatic
Oh,
as a
wow.
reading. And
But is it also that it can change its voice in the sense it does, right? So because its voice, if it's an audio model directly, it's
mm,
not like limited to set number of voices. Is that correct? Because I
I
saw,
don't
I don't
know
know.
actually, because I've heard that woman's voice and then another male voice, but I'm not
Yeah,
aware of the number of voices you can select, or if you can clone any
right,
voice. But
right. That's gonna
perhaps,
come though. That's gonna
yeah,
come quickly.
perhaps if they allow once they allow the API, if you can do few shot prompting with voices, maybe you can give the AI a minute of a voice and say, can you talk like this, please?
Yeah,
And
or quick fine tuning with
yeah,
like one of these
mm,
podcasts and like.
yeah, exactly. No, that would be that should be fairly possible as long as they open up that API and that
Yeah.
modality in the API.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think like one of the like one of the things that really just like impressed me was when like it was one of the release videos, I think,
Mm,
and he's just taking his phone as well. Like we talked about audio, but he takes his phone and looks around the room. What am I? Hey, ChatGPT, like what am I doing? And
mm,
then it like interacting with like, oh, maybe you're recording something. You know, there's a mic there.
yeah.
Da, da, da. And then he's like, I'm in now. Yeah, we're announcing. You're the announcement. And like if they have prepped that, it's different, right? But if they
Yeah.
haven't, like the natural way the conversation happens,
Yeah.
like the way they've really kind of encoded personality
Mm,
in some way into the model. Like people say it's sassy. At least the female voice is sassy, and the male voice has like it has like personality,
mm,
like the way it makes these little things, like says the little filler words, and the way it kind of responds to like a question about itself. I don't know. It was really impressive in like how human it felt.
yeah.
Like if people have felt that, GPT-4 was like
Yeah.
sentient or whatever. Now people are like not gonna know,
No.
like, or if not, I haven't tried it, right? But like it really feels natural from what I've
Yeah.
seen. Like as another like people are gonna anthropomorphize. What do you call it? Anthropomorphize.
Yeah, that was
That word. I
something I
hate
was
that word.
thinking about during their demo, that they just abandon all notion of the AI not pretending to be a human with this release.
Yeah,
Now it's like this is the most anthropomorphized AI ever.
yeah,
Like they and so they can't play that game any longer, or much longer. Like, I don't have feelings, I am an AI, but I can pretend to have emotions in my voice. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that would always be like pretending, that would feel fake, I think. If
yeah.
it interacts with you as a person, but
Yeah.
it's saying, I'm not a person, but heh, like don't say
Exactly.
that. Like it
Exactly.
would it would be,
That would
that
be
would be
just a
uncanny
disconnect.
valley maybe or something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I also think it was nice way, since it's such a playful and visual or audiovisual product, that the way they launched it with, as soon as they had the announcement, there were like 5 or 7 um, videos with other employees interacting with it on YouTube, where like Greg Brockman with his two, he tried to play with 2 phones,
Yeah,
and so that was a really nice way of just showing it in from like showing more people having fun with it from within the company.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's a really nice way of just making launch videos.
yeah, yeah. It's really like they're doing a bunch of things very authentically, I
Yeah.
feel.
Mhm.
Well, cool.
And
I mean, let's. Oh, sorry, go on. Do you have any last things?
just
Let's
as
run
a
up.
last note, like there's so much more information on openai.com than in the announcement video about the capabilities of the model, and it can do so much more that they didn't demo, generating images with consistent text output without making spelling errors and so on.
Yeah, 3D models can
Yeah.
generate 3D models. A
Yeah.
lot of these things. Yeah, brave new world.
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot, Martin. This has been fun. Let's do it
Yes,
again
thank
next
you,
week.
Rasmus, and thank you to the listener, and see you in the next episode.